Friends, it's Julie with Butterfly Papers, and today I am reviewing something with you because, I've been trying to declutter and minimize and downsize my stuff. And one of the ways to keep a lower inventory physically is to have more digital items that you can draw from when you want them, and then they're not taking up physical space. So when the people from Coloringbook.ai reached out to me, said, "Will you try us? And if you do, would you do an honest review?" And I thought, sure, why not? Thinking about using one of these applications before, so why not do this one? So what I did was I had this image, see if it'll pop up. This one here is an old postcard. I thought it would be interesting to see what it looked like. And that is, there's a comparison there. And that is how it came out as a coloring book page. So then you can download that and become a coloring book. So that is one of the things that you can do with this. So I did a few of those images. I also did this one. This is from an old postcard. This is the original postcard. I love this postcard. It's so cute. It's just these guys singing on a piano with a skeleton. It's just so fun. Here is the comparison of what it looked before and after, and the coloring page. I did a couple more. This was a French antique postcard, and it turned into this. I also did, what did I do? I also did one of me because I wanted to see how that would go. I didn't turn out very good. This is when I was in India. We had visited a mosque, and I just don't look attractive. So I'm going to nix this one. But anyways, this was an image that I had generated a long time ago when AI was new, and I was doing all of these handicapped looking fairy tale things like that. So here's a princess. The original AI image is this one. So the face looks different, but still, good coloring page. And I think that's it for that. Okay, so that is the one thing that you can do. Now you can sign up, and you don't need to spend anything. You don't need a credit card or anything. You get 4 free credits to work with, and I don't know if that renews every month or what, because now I think it's the starter version. I get like 100 credits a month, which for only $6.99. Okay, so here's an old postcard. And let's go through the process of making this into a coloring page. Now, preserve faces, you have that option with the free version. You can remove background, so if you want just a simple image. Upscale, I don't have that feature. You have to pay more for that. You can batch, you can make up to 4, but each of these, I think it's going to take 2 credits. Private, now if it's not private, it's available for anyone to use. So keep that in mind, that if you are using the free version, you cannot use the private feature, and also the remove watermark. Which I can do because I have the version. But it takes 2 credits to generate one, so we're going to go through the process and hit the generate button, and it'll just take a little bit to get it to work. All right, so this is what we ended up with. It is a very simple one. There isn't a lot in the picture, so I don't see why it would have been more detailed. I didn't have the option for different levels. You can see as the more detailed pictures, the more detailed the coloring book page will be. Okay, the next thing that it does is this text to coloring book page, and this is fun too. So the first one I did was this one. Christmas elf working on a journal with pens, scissors, and ephemera. And then there's this one, which is faded ornate floral botanical wallpaper. This is my prompt, with intricate scrolling patterns and vignette. If you're not familiar with AI, when you tell it what to make, it's called a prompt. And the more there's certain ways to do it. I am not a pro at doing this. I just dabble every once in a while. This one I liked. Ornate vintage lacework was the only thing that I had put in there. And then I put the same thing in with a fox at the center. And I thought, the fox out here compared to the fox inside, it doesn't compare. So then I put in with fox, let's see here, with scrollwork fox at the center, and that turned out better. And this I needed for the coloring book that I generated. At the end, I'll tell you about that. Available for you. Ornate frame. I wanted a frame to put around something. So let's do one. We already did the scroll work and stuff. So how about we do a field of flowers with butterflies and birds. How about we do the word detailed with apple trees? Why not? Okay, so now you can pick the level of difficulty. Toddler, children, teenagers, adult. I'm going to do the adult because I want to have more detail on mine, because I want to use this for junk journaling. And then I want to do landscape because I'll be folding it in half for a journal page. You can do, again, you can do a batch, but I'm going to keep mine private. I want to remove the watermark. So let's generate. Oh, here we go. This is what we got. Interesting. That is quite pretty. And so we have the field of flowers with the butterflies and birds and apple trees. You can do it. You can batch multiple at once. So why don't we try that and see what they come up with? Okay, so here's what it came up with when I did batch. So we have this. And they put the trees on the side. Then this one looks very similar, slightly different. So I guess if you wanted to do like more on a theme, this would be it. So you can see these two are very similar again, just slightly different positions of the butterflies and the birds. So that's what you get when you do multiples at once. They have a similar look, slightly different. As this coloring book generator, and this is the one I made, Magdalene and the Dragon of Thornville. It's a little kid one. A funny thing is, this is my image that I started with is not at all like the one that I ended up with, and I will do a little flip through with you of the book. Magdalene, she's an herbalist. She sits in a wheelchair among the mountain flowers in her cozy cottage. Then she discovers an injured dragon lying wounded in the forest near her home. She carefully tends to the dragon wounds using her healing herbs. And he recovers. She uses her healing potions. And then he's healthy. They work together to gather herbs. Ash and Blight approaches the kingdom. Then she rides into battle. This does not look like she's riding into battle. It just looks like they're going somewhere. So I think you can refine this a little bit. Then she uses her wheelchair mobility to outmaneuver her enemies. And then the kingdom celebrates victory. They live happily ever after as they learn herbology together in the mountain garden. Well, that was really fun to do. You can do a whole storyline then. So let's do one together. I like this image. It was one of them that I generated when I was talking about how a autoimmune flare feels like. This is where it gets difficult. So let's say that, let's call her Elizabeth. Elizabeth can create fire with her hands, which is a problem. She wants to write books, but accidentally burns them up. Older woman, Madge, helps her learn how to tame her flames. Elizabeth then starts to write her book. She surrounds herself with journaling supplies and writes the story of fire. Whatever. Just make that up. So this uses 8 credits. So this is not something you probably can do on the free version. But you can do 5, 10, or 20 pages. Let's just do 5. We'll do landscape, remove watermark, and generate. Okay, now it lets me pick out my character. So I have 2 choices. Obviously, I want the girl. And now it goes through what do you want each page to look like. And you can change this. She discovers she can make flames with her hands. Looks amazed at the fire. Tries to write in her notebook, but accidentally burns the pages. A wise older woman named Madge teaches her how to control and tame her fire. She practices her writing skill with gentle flames. Oh, surrounding her, that's interesting. Finally able to control her gift. She sits peacefully surrounded by journals and writing supplies, happily writing her story about fire. Hey, it filled in a few things, but that works good. I thought this would be kind of a good analogy to how we journal, where sometimes we just don't know how to tame all of our creativity, and we might accidentally make mistakes or feel like that anxiety about can I make this? You feel like you're burning up and you have to have somebody come alongside you and say, hey, it's okay. This is how you tame it down and how you make it. And then there you go. It's like discipleship almost too. So another thing you could do because of this cool coloring book generator, this would be a great Christmas gift. So if you have like a story of that you want to do for some kids, you could do one and then you could have it available for everybody. You can print these out. Or at your Christmas gathering, you could make some coloring pages for everybody to have an activity to do together. And if you get like a premium version, you can generate these and make money off of them because then you have the commercial rights. I don't have the commercial rights, so I can't sell these, but I can give them away. I will show you what I'm giving you away at the end. And while we're still waiting for this, I just want to show you this. This is the scroll work one that I generated, and I just printed it onto some of the paper that I dyed with Easter egg dye. And it turned out really lovely. I think this would make a beautiful page in my junk journal. I don't think this needs to be necessarily a coloring book page. One word of warning, if you have an inkjet, you want to dye your paper first and then print on top of them. Because if you print and then you dye it, the print will probably smear. Maybe we should experiment with that sometimes. Oh, our book is done. Okay, so Elizabeth, let's look at it. So there's the cover. All right, she's not quite what I imagined her to be from the image. Here she can create magical flames. She tries. Poor Elizabeth. Here's where a wise woman teaches her. And then she practices her writing skills. And there, it's very, very much juvenile looking, but it's kind of funny. So just from words. Okay, so now another thing you can do is generate a name page, which would also be a great gift. So of course I did butterfly papers. I will take you through and we'll just do another butterfly papers. You can choose your font. Let's do this one this time. Font size, we'll do large again. And you can do an element in text. So inside the text, this is a wave. Let's do swirl this time. And then other elements, flower, butterfly. What did I do? I did scroll work before. Pencils. What else do we use? Scissors, books. That's probably good. I don't want to get it too much. Let's do landscape this time. And we'll do private and remove watermark and generate. I spent a while last night playing around with this and I thought it was really fun. Now this only takes 1 credit, so keep that in mind because the image to coloring page takes 2. You do the free and you only have 4. You want to make sure that you get your prompt where you exactly want it, so think about it, and then go ahead and do it. But I thought it was a lot of fun to work with this. I haven't done something like this before, and it's a different way of being artistic because not everybody can sit there and make things like this. Well, if you can imagine it, it can happen. I think the ability to take old photos and bring them to life again is a really neat thing. Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm not sure if I like this as much. Yeah, the swirl in the butterfly papers, it's a little angular. I'm not sure if I like that as much. But we do have the books, we do have the scissors and the pencils and the pen. They added a pen and the butterflies and the flowers. So they did get all the elements in there. But this would be a fun coloring page. I just think I should have done different rounded letters. Like this one was rounded. I like these letters better. Okay, so then you can colorize a drawing. You can do different versions where you can use your image and do flat, crayon, watercolor, impasto, marker, or color pencils. So I uploaded this picture again of the guys on, making music with a skeleton, flat coloring. It's interesting the colors that it picks up with crayon. And this one's a bit more colorful with a watercolor. Like that. This one, impasto. I liked this one. Marker which this one surprised me. I thought it would be brighter, but all they did was kind of color a couple things. Colored pencil, which is this one, which is again very muted, very antique looking. Then I took one of my favorite pictures of my parents. Yes, I was adopted. Here's the original image, and then this is what they brought to life. The interesting thing is that it kind of does look like an old picture from way back when, but they interpreted the colors as dark that they're wearing, but they did color the tree green, and you have the like the shades of blue on the snow. So I think that was really, really, I like that. So look at this. Oh, I didn't realize you could do this, but huh, look at that. Cool. And then this is another picture from an old album that I had color. And again, you can choose different ones, a different method if you want marker, if you want watercolor again. Look at the original. It even, I think, made it a little bit more clear, I think. It's really neat. So then you can, this would be another great Christmas gift, to bring an old picture to life. Then I took this quilt picture, flat coloring, didn't come out very much. So I went through this one. I think I did generated two at once and nothing happened. So I don't know why they didn't add color, because those were two. I generated the batch of two and it just didn't come out that great. So then I went and I did a couple other ones. This is the impasto, because I liked the way the impasto came out. Look how they interpreted the quilt squares, which does look like a scrappy old quilt, and it looks almost like a colored pencil sketchy look. Here's the original. So I like how that one turned out. That would like a really nice ephemera. And then this one I did with crayon, because I liked the way the other crayon came out. And again, they interpreted these quilt squares differently. Maybe there's slight variations in color, or I don't know how it figures out what color it wants to be. And then I decided to take the original Halloween postcard that I did way at the beginning and see what would it do, because we had it generate into a coloring page. What would happen if we colored it in? It's not at all like the original. Of course, the original is highly detailed. And so if you have a coloring book page you really love, you can scan and upload the image and then have it color in for you. Okay, another thing you can do is you can go and color pages. So these are the ones that other people have generated. So you can, let's just pick one, a red panda. You can go ahead and just have fun with coloring. I took some of my favorite images and I compiled a little coloring book for you from those. And that will include like this one, that one, some of the text to coloring page. And so that'll be free. I'll put that in my Ko-fi store. This is only for personal use. We don't have the license for commercial use. Let me know what you think. Would you like to play around with something like this? I mean, it's free to just do 4 of them. I think that you can't lose by just doing that, and maybe you just make a couple things that you need for a journal to fill in, because sometimes you're making a journal and you're like, I really wish I had that page, and then you can download it and you reuse it again and again. So I think that would be a fun use. So I have the links below to the Coloringbook.ai. It is an affiliate link, so if you do go there, please use my link. Let me know if there's other places you would like me to look at for you, and I will see you on the next page. Goodbye.